So this hand was played at 1-3 here in Texas.
Okay.
Effective stacks are 800.
Okay, so 1-3-800. Is this a match the stack game?
Yeah, this is a match stack game.
Okay.
Okay, so in the hand, getting right along to action, the hijack opens to $13.
Okay.
And we're in the cutoff with Jack of Hearts, Jack of Spades.
Okay.
We three bet $40.
Okay.
Now, the first unexpected thing happens in the hand. The small blind cold calls the three bet. This is a player who's a winning tag in the game.
Okay. Cold calls your 3-bet in the small blind. Okay.
Yeah, so the hijack who opened was an action player, so he was involved in almost every hand in the couple hours I was at the table. So, I mean, I think small blind here has some range that plays well against and wants to see a flop against this action player.
Okay. So he calls.
So he calls, action player calls, and we're going to a flop. Okay, all right, so the flop is queen of hearts, 10 of hearts, 3 of hearts. Okay, naturally, small blind checks. First interesting thing that happens now, second interesting thing that happened is the hijack donks out for $80.
So the hijack, who was the initial opener but then defended to your 3-bet, leads now into you. And of course, you are the 3-better for 80 into 120. You have jacks with the jack of hearts, which is the second nut flush draw here on queen 10-3 monotone, right?
Third nut flush draw.
Third nut flush draw, right? And queen 10-3 monotone, and you've got a guy behind you. I don't think you can fold, though. I mean, obviously, you're supposed to play tight multi-way, but I wouldn't fold jacks with a jack. I mean, I think you have to fold jacks without a heart, right?
Yeah, I don't know what to do with nines with a 9 of heart. I think
I think nines with the 9 of hearts gets even more treacherous here with the guy behind you. Obviously, nines with the 9 of hearts is a call heads up, but I think that's really where I'd probably draw the line. You know what I mean? Like, I think I would probably fold nines with the 9 of hearts with a guy behind you, but jacks I think is a very easy continue. You've got some backdoor straight draws and stuff like that if he just has like queen X. So you called?
So the small blind folds. So we're going to a turn. Okay, turn is the 7 of spades.
Okay.
There's complete brick.
Yep.
Hijack continues for 225 into 280.
So now he bets 225. I mean, this is interesting here because I think maybe the action-ish nature of your player is going to maybe come into this. Like, if you didn't tell me that this guy was like a real action player, I think I would probably just fold off now at 225. But it kind of sounds to me like maybe when I'm looking on this on paper that I very well might continue on here. And the reason why is because this seems like maybe he's got like the ace of hearts. Did that go through your mind here, Ari?
Yeah, actually, so my ranging on this player involved also his pre-flop sizing, which was very small. 13 is very small in a 1-3 game.
Uh-huh.
So I actually don't think he has ace-king with the ace of hearts. And the hand I'm really worried about is like ace-queen with the ace of hearts. I don't think he has that.
Mm-hmm.
So, my thoughts are, either he's running a bluff with the ace of hearts. Maybe he has a hand like king-jack with the king of hearts.
Mm-hmm.
He can have all the queen tens.
Mm-hmm.
He can have pocket threes. I don't think he has pocket tens, again, because of the small open.
Yeah, so, I mean, again, like and what Ari's saying about the small open is that you can gauge. I actually watched over that really quickly, Ari, in terms of, what's the standard open here, because that really drives the size of the game. I've seen Texas games at 1-3 match a stack where people open a 50. I've also seen games where during the day they open a 10 or 15. That really drives the action. So 13 was small for this game, even at 800 effective.
Yeah, and even this specific player. So he was involved in maybe about 80% of the pots with a mixture of limping and opening, but his previous 5 opens over 2 hours were all $18 or more. Mm-hmm. So I saw him open in mid-position to 18 with like 6-7 suited one hand. So when he opens small, I really am discounting kind of the top parts of his range. Maybe he has some suited aces, though. they want to build a pot multi-way. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
but I don't buy that he's leading into you with the nut flush and then now go 225 on the turn. Like I said, from a baseline perspective, I would just fold off here on the turn, but I can see the reasons for continuing on against some certain players. So you call again?
Yeah.
Okay, so you make the
Okay.
call. So you put 450 here in on the turn. So now the pot is what, 730
7:30.
to
Yeah.
the
So I
river?
did call
Yeah, so I mean,
7:30.
by the way, you guys have maybe 450 if it was 800
About
effect.
about 450.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Somewhere between 450 and 500. All right. So
Yeah.
the action then goes to the river. The river is the worst, maybe the worst card in the deck. The Ace of Spades.
Mm. And of course, the reason why it might be the worst card in the deck is because if you was betting with some of those hands that contain the Ace of Hearts in it, you lose to those hands now, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So interesting part. Another interesting decision. He checks.
Okay.
Obviously, if he bets, we're just done with the hand. But he checks.
Right.
Question merit to turning our hand into a bluff. I kind of looked at my range here, and I actually don't know if I have a worse hand in my range and a hand with better blocker properties than this.
I don't like it from your description. I mean, I don't know if you're asking me from like if you're trying to work it back to like an optimal type of scenario, because this is where it goes haywire. Because if you wanted to do that, you would have just folded off on the turn. I don't want to try to get your quote unquote action player off of Ace X here that he runs into. I agree that it's very unlikely that you're going to win this hand, but it wouldn't surprise me if there are actually even stronger hands here that are checking on the river because they felt like they protected through and they're going to check call, like Queen 10. Like, do you think Queen 10's going to check the river? I do.
Is Queen 10 going to fold if I jam?
No, never. That's what I'm saying. Ace X isn't going to fold, dude. So you have a sliver of showdown value here. Like, I don't see Ace Jack. So you've got Queen 10s that you're scared of that are going to check and call. Some aces up that might even play this way that are going to check and call. You might have a sliver of showdown value here with a hand like King 10 versus like King 10 with the King of Hearts. Who knows, nines with the 9 of Hearts, some bullshit like that. The only thing that might put him in a really difficult spot if he were to, hands that you might get to fold out here once in a while might be like King Queen off, right, with the King of Hearts that just kept continuing to bet. Queen Jack, but you hold 2 of the jacks. So, and I still don't know if those hands are folding. Like, if you can't get King Queen with the King of Hearts to fold here, like if I'm questioning that and you also have a sliver of showdown value, I would check it back because I do think that once in a while you might win versus a 10, but I don't think any of those hands are going to fold. Ace X, Queen 10, whatever.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. That was my thinking. I thought I could get King Queen off with a King of Hearts to fold possibly, but I don't think I'm getting Ace Jack with the Ace of Hearts. Ace 10 with Ace of Hearts is obviously 2 pair, and is never folding, especially with the Ace of Hearts blocker. So I did check back in the end, and Dylan tabled pocket threes. He said he checked back. I think the check back on the river is actually pretty reasonable for him.
Well, so what are you upset about then?
I think I played the hand well, but I wanted to get.
Let me just say this, Ari. You're gonna get called if he has pocket threes for sure. Just as a wrap, like I don't even think he's like, the fact that you're even considering bluffing here, I think might be the wrong approach to a guy in this game, like in Texas. And also too, yes, you're sort of down in your range, but you also called the turn when you wouldn't have if it was a normal type of hand. So we would want to look at where your range falls in, right? If you were going to fold the turn anyways, if you were trying to approach optimal. So I would just look at.
Are you folding off overpairs with no heart in them on the turn, or?
No, overpairs with no heart. No.
Okay, so you're giving up with pocket jacks and with a jack of hearts in a vacuum.
Yeah, I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue on with a queen plus on the flop and on the turn, and then probably jacks is probably where I'm. Obviously, if somehow you had 3-bet with like King 10 or Ace 10 off with a heart in it, you're going to continue on there too, right? But I don't think you continue on the flop with blackjacks. I don't think you continue on the flop with a suited 10 that doesn't have a heart in it. Like ace 10 suited with a guy behind you, like ace 10 of spades, something like that, I think might all be give ups, although that's a better hand to have than to have jacks, to have blackjacks. But I think you definitely made the right decision.
What are your give ups on the turn? I guess Jack of Hearts, Jack X, and are you giving up any overpairs, or you keep continuing with all your overpairs
on the turn?
On the turn, yeah.
I just said that I would continue with all my overpairs.
Okay, got it. Just wanted to clarify.
So John W. says the fact that we can't win if we check back and can't bluff the river means we did something wrong here. Sometimes I wonder if you guys listen to what I said. I think that he can win sometimes on the river. If he couldn't ever win, there would be more of a case for bluffing, but he does have a sliver of showdown value. Thank you very much for the call, Ari. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel, and check out the coupon code in the description to try out the Crush Live Poker training site for free.